Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Today, we're going to take a look at what happened on Raw, November 21st, 2022, from Albany, New York. Here we go. Okay, so November 21st, Raw episode of Raw from Albany, New York. Show starts right away with first segment with Kevin Owens. And right off the bat, he says that the one reason he is in War Games is that he's going after Roman Reigns and his titles. Now, if you remember, almost at the very beginning of Roman's title reign, KO challenged him a couple of times, and they made it that he was very tough to beat, first of all, and second of all, Roman escaped with his title numerous times in that feud because of the Usos. So now he's going after Roman again, and he says he didn't come alone. The Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre arrive in the ring. They talk about Saturday's War Games. They're interrupted by the Judgment Day, and the Brawling Brute make a challenge. Brawling Brutes versus the Judgment Day. So that's going to be your first match. So Brawling Brute versus the Judgment Day. Now, there's no real there's no real storyline in this match, except to have bragging rights maybe or something. But there's no real issue. There's no real storyline benefit or not, other than having another win at some time. So Dominic just continues to play his role of the chicken shit heel, like I like to call them. And when an opponent is in trouble in the ring, he asks for the tag, and then when the opponent is getting the upper hand on it, he tags out. So he is playing that role perfectly. And he even uses Rhea to shield himself from, I don't remember which one. I think it was Butch was running after him, or Ridge. But anyway, so when Dominic tries to run away from Sheamus, Yossi stops him, and they go back in the ring. Sheamus hits the Brogue Kick on Dominic for the pin. So the Brawling Brutes win the match. Both factions brawl. And during all that time, KO was doing commentary with Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. And KO just gets up, goes in the ring, goes in the back of Finn Balor, turns it around, stunner, boom, thank you very much. Match over. So next, we see Johnny Gargano in the back with Kathy Kelly, and he says that he challenged Miz to a match, which is next. So we're going to go there. So match number 2, supposed to be The Miz versus Johnny Gargano. Now, Gargano's in the ring, and The Miz fakes an injury, claims he injured himself doing whatever he was doing, and he said he picked another opponent for Johnny wrestling, and Omos's music starts. Now, Omos, 7'4" Nigerian giant, he basically ragdolled Johnny to a certain point, but Johnny did have some shots in. So It shows that this was to show and essentially that Johnny Gargano, has a lot of heart, and that he won't back down from a challenge, even if the guy is almost 2 times as tall as he is. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you get the point. Uh, Maybe what Johnny is, what, 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", and the other one is 7'4". So he towers him over, almost 2 feet over him, and maybe double his weight. So anyway, um, so Omos wins the match, and like I said, Gargano showed a lot of heart. So Omos, does he gain something from that? Well, he got a win over Johnny Gargano. But Gargano, what he gains in this with the loss is that even though he had a huge challenge in front of him, he didn't back down. He got his shots in, and at one point, even got almost to his knees and on his back. So that shows that Johnny is, well, like I said, he's got a lot of heart, and he won't back down from any challenge. So that was the purpose of this. So Johnny is gaining a little bit from this match as well. Then we see Seth Rollins in an interview, and he says that he will still be champion after Survivor Series. And after the interview is done, you see Austin Theory watching the interview on TV and says that failing to cash in was the best thing that happened to him. And he tells Rollins and Lashley that to watch what he does to Ali tonight in the next match. So we'll get to there. So Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali. What's at stake in this match? Well, first of all, I want to continue building the new and improved Austin Theory with his more aggressive persona. And Ali, they want to continue selling the fact that he's got heart, doesn't give up, and as long as he's breathing, he can fight. So Ali comes in, and he's still selling the ribs, the injured ribs from last week. Again, what he got from with Bobby Lashley. Now Ali hits the 450, which is finishing maneuver, but because of his ribs, he can't make the cover. Theory hits the A-Town down for the victory. So the result of this match basically says exactly what I said earlier. Ali's got a lot of heart, and even if he's injured, he's going to keep fighting. And Theory just won another match, so his new and improved character is winning matches, whereas he was losing a lot. Sorry, when he had the Money in the Bank briefcase. I thought about something today, and one of my next video will be on the Money in the Bank storyline with Austin Theory, how it was done, why it was done, why I think it was done like that. So I'm gonna probably post that tomorrow night. I still have to get my ideas together on that, but stay tuned for that one. After the match, Lashley talks to Theory on the screen, says he's coming to the ring, and they both talk. Both of them say they couldn't get the job done. Lashley says he couldn't get the job done when he had Rollins almost beat up to a pulp, after what Lashley did to him a couple of weeks ago uh, on the night of the failed cash-in. And Theory basically tells Lashley that he couldn't get the job done because he got beat by Brock Lesnar. So both start to fight. Lashley beats up Theory. And Theory uses a chair, but that doesn't faze Lashley. Theory runs away. And then he pushes when he comes backstage, he pushes Ali on Lashley, and Lashley just puts the hurt lock on poor Ali. So I'm saying poor Ali right now because he's getting beat up by everyone, and the guy doesn't deserve that. But that's the way they want to build him right now. He gets a lot of punishment, but he's coming back all the time. So that's part of the storyline going on for Ali, which is never back down. I'm breathing. I can fight. Theory and Lashley are bound to collide at Survivor Series, and this could play right in the hands of Seth Rollins. But anyway, I'll have my video for Survivor Series predictions. Right now, I know there are 6 matches scheduled for Survivor Series, but I'll have that video during the week. So we'll go to match number 5 with Alpha Academy versus Elias and Matt Riddle. Alpha Academy versus Elias and Matt Riddle. Now, if we remember the last few weeks, Otis has beaten Elias, and last week, Chad Gable beat Matt Riddle. So that was establishing dominance as singles wrestlers. And I did say last week that Gable was so underrated, but that's another story. Okay. So the match, Gable dominates the early going. And this is probably to try to establish Elias and Matt Riddle as a tag team for the near future, until maybe Matt Riddle gets another run to try to get the undisputed title, even though storyline wise he can't as long as Roman is champion. So Elias and Riddle get the win in this match. So that knocks off Alpha Academy a little bit. And I think that's a shame because they're very entertaining. But maybe that's preparing something. That's preparing something for Alpha Academy in the near future. I don't see signs yet of dissension between the two of them, but seeing them lose a lot as tag team right now can lead to maybe a tag team breakup. We'll see in the future. Anyway, every tag team finishes by breaking up at some point. So I'm not teaching you anything right now. So Elias and Matt Riddle win the match. Further, maybe establish them as a tag team, but we'll see in the future. Now, next segment, you have Baron Corbin, and JBL at a poker table, just like the old APA used to do. They used to play poker all the time, and so it's just like bringing back memories of JBL and Farouk, or Ron Simmons if you prefer. And Drew McIntyre comes in, says they have a lot of history, and Corbin says that if he would have had JBL as a manager, Drew would not have beaten him at WrestleMania. So Drew just challenges Corbin to a match. So we'll go there. So again, not really a big stakes in this match. Just a guy from SmackDown against a guy from Raw. Maybe bragging rights, but maybe continue to establish Corbin as a future main eventer, maybe. So the match was very competitive. McIntyre at one point prepares for the Claymore. JBL comes behind him and distracts McIntyre. And who do you see appearing? Akira Tozawa. And he just jumps on JBL. JBL catches him, but like they're face to face. And Tozawa just grabs JBL's hat and he takes off with it. So that distracts Corbin. Drew hits the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Match over. So Drew gets the win. So another boost there. Now, does Corbin lose anything? Not really, because he lost because of a distraction. He was surprised by Drew's Claymore when he turned around. So he didn't see it coming. So for the credibility's sake, Corbin doesn't lose anything there because he lost, first of all, to a guy from SmackDown, and second of all, because of a distraction. Now, where does Akira Tozawa fit in there? It's like, okay, so you're going to put Akira Tozawa against Baron Corbin in a feud. It's going to be entertaining. So we'll see where it goes. So then we have AJ Styles in the backstage interview with Kathy Kelly. Now, AJ says that he will win his match against Finn Balor at Survivor Series. Finn confronts him, says he's the devil. And then you see Rhea. I think she was screaming at Mia Yim. Big boot to the face, and you see it, and you see the boot right on the face. And both factions start to brawl right there, and that's how the segment ends. And then we go to the main event, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, a match to determine the advantage for War Games. So Asuka versus Rhea Ripley to determine the advantage, which team has the advantage for War Games. Now Bianca, she's in the ring with her girls, minus Mia Yim, who was just attacked backstage. And she says that the fifth member will be announced on Friday. Now, who will this fifth member be? Until now, I see two names that would make sense to fit in the storyline. The first one is more obvious, Candice LeRae. Since she was put out, she was injured by Damage Control some 2-3 weeks ago. So that could be the fifth member. But maybe the match needs a little bit of more of a star power. If you remember at SummerSlam, when the match ended, the Raw Women's Championship match ended, and Bayley and Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai confronted Bianca Belair in the ring. Who was standing beside her? Who made her babyface turn that night? And the following night, when she was saying that she found herself, she and then she was attacked backstage by Damage Control, and I'm talking about Becky Lynch. So I was saying the more they wait to announce that for a fifth participant, the more chances we had of the fifth member not being Candice LeRae. And the more chances we had to have Becky Lynch in there. So that's what I'm expecting. Becky Lynch would be the fifth member of the team. Now, there's another choice, and that's just because it's her hometown, and that would be Sasha Banks coming back for Bianca Belair's team to be at War Games on Saturday night. The only reason it could be Sasha Banks is because Survivor Series is in her hometown. But storyline wise, it will make no sense. Apart maybe from the fact that they got stripped of her and Naomi got stripped of the titles of the tag team, the women's tag team titles, and now it's Damage Control that has them. So that could be the link for Sasha Banks to come back. But Sasha coming back without Naomi to challenge in this type of storyline there would not really make sense. So maybe they could attack Mia Yim backstage to get her out of the match, and then you can see Sasha and Naomi in there. It's a little far-fetched, but it could happen. But the one I really think will be the fifth member is Becky Lynch. So that's my take for the fifth member of Bianca Belair's team. Now Rhea comes out with Damage Control and Nikki Cross, and she says to Asuka, and it was so funny how she said it, and that those were her words exactly. Just like at WrestleMania, Mommy is going to eradicate you. So she's taking that Mommy character to heart. So she's like Mommy's Dominic's mommy there. So I'm your pappy, I'm your mommy, and so I find that very good. And again, I'm going to say it in Judgment Day. The leader might be Finn Balor, even though they say they don't have any leaders, but the MVP is Rhea Ripley, without a doubt. So we'll get to the match. After a dominating start from Asuka, Rhea takes advantage and beats up Asuka. And Rhea wins with the Riptide after a very good match. So Rhea wins the advantage for War Games for her team. And then a brawl ensues after the match. Now, I don't know if it's just to build up Survivor Series that we have so many brawls after matches or backstage but it gets repetitive at one point. And I hope that after Survivor Series, this goes a little bit more to the sideways. We'll see. So the only thing I regret in there is that they're now using Asuka to put over people. Asuka will always be a threat. I would love for her to be more like her days in NXT. But I realize that she's now 41 years old. And well, she's still in great shape. She's still a great wrestler. She could be champion tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that they made maybe an agreement with her that she's going to put over younger talent. They're going to use Asuka's credentials to boost up younger talent, including Rhea Ripley. But I would love for Asuka to have at least another run with a singles title and a dominant run as a singles champion. I would love this. But it's not for me to decide. That's just my take. That's just my wish. So that's it for this video of Raw, November 21st. And look forward to my predictions and look forward for my Austin Theory Money in the Bank storyline videos coming probably later this week, and my SmackDown analysis. And also for my French-speaking viewers, with the Survivor Series video, I'm going to start doing French versions of my videos as well. So I've been asked that since I'm a French Canadian, first of all. So I've been asked by people to do the videos in French. So I'm going to start doing them in French as well, starting with my Survivor Series predictions. And then every video afterwards will be in both languages. Not in the same video, obviously, because it would take too long. So have a nice day and see you soon.